What up, friends? Weki Meki here, and today we're going to be reviewing the newest Weki Meki mini-album, New Rules. Like I said before, this is the fourth mini-album by the K-pop girl group Weki Meki, continuing the momentum after they released their third mini-album a few months prior. Weki Meki are powering forward and establishing themselves as underdogs of the industry. They continue to experiment with their sound, taking it in a bit more contemporary direction, although you still can tell it's them. While I don't think it is as strong as their previous mini-album, New Rules maintains their fun yet confident aesthetic while also delivering on some of their more sentimental sides as well. The mini-album opens up with Cool, and my girl, Doyeon, she just nails the opening on this one. She really fits that sort of dark swagger that this track has. The whistle and the deep electro bass are an immediate tone setter for this song. I love how nonchalant the rapping and chorus are. They have such a unique vibe compared to a lot of other Weki Meki tracks. It's such a forceful and fitting way to propel lyrics about individuality and being yourself. The bridge could have been a little bit more interesting and maybe could have used some lyrics as well, but other than that, this is a really neat single and a pretty great way to kick off the mini-album. In Sweet Dreams, the toy-like keys have a really ominous sound when backed by the very skeletal bass and beat. I also really like the sample that's kind of scattered around the track. It adds a sort of western flair that you don't hear a lot in K-pop songs. It kind of reminds me of how EXID used samples a little bit, so that's always a plus in my book. Weirdly enough, I actually could see a group from like EXID or Red Velvet's era making a song like this. It's an interesting sort of time capsule to back when they first started out. The lyrics also have this sort of ominous, maybe even stalkerish type vibe that kind of depict the girls as someone who's so intoxicating that you just can't help but dream about them all the time. It's a pretty amusing and clever way to tackle love like this. With D-Day, they are kind of traversing into more contemporary R&B sounds. It's pretty guitar heavy and it has that groove that you can expect from songs of this genre. And while the instrumental is fine, I feel like the vocals don't really fit the tone of this song that well. It's like they kind of just plopped verses over the beat without thinking of how they can mesh them together properly. The song, while not bad, also doesn't really go anywhere. It remains kind of stagnant for a lot of its runtime, I feel. The lyrics also are kind of generic. They're not really breaking a lot of new ground. They're not offensively bad or anything like that, but nothing too unique. Now, Just Us is a pretty good ballad. I really like the nature sounds sort of weave in and out here, and the bass line provides a pretty decent groove, and the piano kind of follows in suit. Their vocals also seamlessly glide over the instrumental, producing a very delicate and almost natural sound that's really refreshing. The bittersweet tone really matches the sort of sad and love-filled expressions in the lyrics as well, and the sing-along near the end is a pretty cute touch to bring them back to their teen pop roots, if only for a moment, while also fitting the tone of the track. Weki Meki overall are definitely perusing some new sounds here to overall pretty engaging results. I don't think it's as strong as their previous mini-album Hide and Seek. This one's a bit too loose and doesn't really have the cohesion I felt of the last one. I also worry a bit if they're losing a bit too much of their iconic sound in these explorations. I mean, you know me, I'm always all for a band experimenting and changing their sound and all that. I don't want them to stay in one place. However, there's not much on this mini-album that really screams Weki Meki to me, other than Cool and maybe Just Us as well. Of course, all of this is kind of hard to tell from a 4-song mini-album, you know. I do think, however, that they are becoming a little bit too similar to their contemporaries, and they might want to try refining the sound that they've been using in the past rather than going for something completely different all of a sudden. Overall, though, this is a pretty solid project, and it could have been better with more fulfilled and fleshed out instrumentation, and with more care to how the vocals overlap with said instrumentation. Overall, I'm feeling a light 7. Pretty good, just some missteps here and there. Of course, we also have to talk about the album cover on the show, and this one, it's alright. I like how bold the text is. I like how jagged it is as well, combining with the sort of faded action lines in the background. But the yellow and purple stickers aesthetic on the top left don't really gel with me. It feels a little bit lazy. It just doesn't have much going on to make it stand out or feel interesting. So it's not the worst, but just kind of bland. But that is what I think about Weki Meki's newest mini album. What did you guys think about it? Do you get that Weki Meki vibe, or are they kind of pushing it to the wayside a bit? Be sure to let me know on that. But until the next one, farewell.